Hi, I'm Margaret Collins. I'm 73 years old, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina. And this is the story of how I was erased by my own children. Not physically, not legally, but emotionally. They cut me out of their lives with a single text message. After 15 years of giving them everything, my money, my time, my love, I was discarded like yesterday's mail. But I didn't break. I rebuilt. And I found something far more powerful than their approval. I found myself. If you've ever felt taken for granted, overlooked, or used by the very people you love most, this story is for you. When Charles, my husband of 35 years, passed away, I felt like the ground beneath me had vanished. He was my anchor, my partner, my best friend. We had built a quiet life together. He was a high school principal, I was a librarian. We weren't wealthy, but we were stable. After his sudden heart attack, I was left with grief and choices. I could retreat into loneliness, or I could pour myself into family. Brian, my only son, was struggling. He had just lost his job in marketing, and Megan, his wife, was working part-time as a yoga instructor. They had 2 kids, a mortgage, and dreams bigger than their paychecks. So I stepped in. I paid off their second mortgage. I covered their car repairs. I even paid for Emily's private school tuition. Then came the weddings, the vacations, the emergencies. I didn't mind. I loved them. But somewhere along the way, love turned into expectation. I remember one Thanksgiving dinner vividly. I had cooked for 12 people, cleaned for hours, and spent nearly $800 on groceries. Brian arrived late. Megan didn't say, "Thank you." Emily asked if I could help with her college fund. I sat there, smiling, nodding, giving. But inside, I felt invisible. I wasn't Margaret anymore. I was Grandma Faye. No one asked how I was doing. No one noticed I had arthritis in my hands. No one cared that I hadn't painted in years, something I used to love. I started to feel like a ghost in my own life. Present, but unseen. Valued only for what I could give. It was a quiet Sunday dinner. Just me, Brian, Megan, and Emily. I had made lasagna and garlic bread. Halfway through the meal, I said, "I've been thinking I might need to cut back on some of the financial help. I'm getting older and I want to focus on my own needs." Silence. Brian said, "Are you okay, Mom?" Megan looked annoyed. Emily just stared at her phone. I tried to explain. "I'm not angry. I just need to take care of myself too." They nodded, but the air felt colder. I knew something had shifted. I just didn't know how deep the cut would be. 3 days later, I got a message in our family group chat. "We've talked, and we think it's best if Mom takes a step back." No phone call, no conversation, just a message. And Megan added a green thumbs up emoji. I stared at it for 10 minutes. Then I cried. Not because they rejected me, but because I had let it happen for so long. I had trained them to expect me to give endlessly. And now, the moment I set a boundary, I was erased. I didn't respond. I didn't beg. I didn't explain. I quietly stopped all financial support. No more tuition checks. No more emergency transfers. No more grocery runs. I went to the art store and bought canvases, brushes, and paints. I started painting again, sunsets, flowers, memories. I took long walks. I read novels. I made tea and watched birds from my porch. And for the first time in years, I felt alive. I wasn't just surviving. I was rediscovering myself. The messages started rolling in. Brian, Mom, Emily's tuition is due. Megan, we're short on rent this month. Emily, Grandma, I need help with books. I replied, I love you all, but I'm not able to help financially anymore. Then came the guilt. Brian, I thought family meant support. Megan, you're abandoning us. Emily, I guess I don't matter anymore. I cried again, but this time it was different. I wasn't sad. I was shedding. I was letting go of the role they had cast me in, and stepping into the role I chose for myself. One afternoon, I got a knock on the door. It was Walter, my neighbor. He had seen me painting on the porch, and asked if I'd join a local art club. I said yes. Walter was kind, funny, and gentle. We started having coffee together. He listened. He asked about my life. He made me laugh. And slowly I realized I wasn't alone. There were people who saw me, not for what I could give, but for who I was. Months passed. Then one day Emily called. "Grandma, I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I miss you." We talked for an hour. She told me she admired my strength. She wanted to learn painting. She asked if we could spend time together. I cried again, but this time it was joy. A week later, Brian called. "Mom, I was wrong. I took you for granted. I'm sorry. We're rebuilding. Slowly, but on my terms. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm free. I learned that self-love isn't selfish. It's survival. I'm painting again. I'm laughing again. I'm living again. And if you're watching this, feeling erased, overlooked, or used, I want you to know, you are not alone. You are not broken. You are worthy. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you've ever felt taken for granted. Let's build a community where healing is possible, where boundaries are respected, and where self-love is celebrated. Thank you for listening to my story. I'm Margaret Collins, and I'm finally me.